Franz Kafka, an insurance administrator by day, a writer by night. Albert Einstein, a patent clerk by day, a scientist by night. Baruch Spinoza, a lensmaker by day, a philosopher by night. I can go on, but you see a pattern here. An extensive list of exceptional and talented people has stable jobs while pursuing their creative and intellectual pursuits on the side, for many reasons, which I'll be explaining in this video. I'll be covering why, from a risk management aspect, it's a terrible idea to go all in on your creative projects, no matter what your favorite guru says about following your passion. I will also outline how keeping a stable and lucrative profession will help you not just avoid the risk of ruin in your life, but will help you unleash your creativity. The narrative today is heavily leaning towards quitting your shitty job and following your passion type of advice. Social media is exacerbating the situation by showing you highlights of people or creatives who made it big. But remember that failed creatives are not posting much. The survivorship bias is strong here. You can find a ton of creative people who followed their passion but failed dramatically. And a lot of them are making a living by serving matcha lattes here in New York City. You need to be careful out there. The people giving the advice online and the people listening to the advice are operating in two different domains. Life is real, and if you're a creative, an artist, a writer, a videographer, you need to understand this concept. A crucial concept that I understood intuitively, but that Nassim Taleb really helped me absorb. So let's go a few centuries back in time and imagine you're an up-and-coming opera singer in 16th century Florence trying to make your mark. You're starting to assemble a little fan base in the city and they're paying you generously to listen to you perform. You have a few competitors locally, but each of you have a little share of the opera market in Florence. You hear about other singers dominating Verona, Rome, or Milan, but you're not directly competing with them. People are not traveling that much. So now, let's say you're an opera singer in 2025. It feels like it's within your reach to make it. There are no gatekeepers. You can just upload your work on YouTube or Spotify and hope people will like it. The caveat is, today, you're not competing just with Milan, Florence, or Paris anymore, but you're basically competing with every opera singer anywhere in the world. And success is concentrated. A few top singers are making most of the money and the streams, and they can command higher premiums for their performance. They go on world tours and have global audiences. So the idea is, in life, we basically operate in two different domains: Extremistan or Mediocristan. If you want to learn more deeply about it, I'd recommend reading The Black Swan by Nassim Taleb. But basically, Extremistan is the realm of the scalable. It's a domain where a single rare event can have huge impact. Think of wealth. If you have a stadium full of people and Elon Musk walks in, the average net worth in that stadium will increase dramatically. The impact of a single outlier is huge. Mediocristan, on the other hand, is the domain of the non-scalable. Think of height or weight. If you have the same stadium full of people and the heaviest person in the world walks in, then the average weight in that stadium will not change that much. The impact of the outlier will be diluted in the mass. Now, why is this idea useful? Well, that applies to careers as well. A career in Extremistan is a career of extreme outcomes. A career where there is a winner-take-all effect. If you take soccer players, the top superstars, Ronaldo, Messi, or Mbappe, are making from 100 to 1,000 times more than the average player. Let's take authors. J.K. Rowling and Stephen King are selling hundreds of millions of books, while the average author is probably making a living as a barista here in New York City. Careers in Mediocristan, though, are less skewed. If you take dentists, the highest earning ones are making 2 to 5 times more than the average one. And the average one is still making decent money. Same with lawyers, software engineers, salespeople, or accountants. Now, if you're a creator on YouTube, or a writer, an artist, you're operating in Extremistan. The vast majority of YouTube channels earn almost nothing, while Mr. Beast is making tens of millions per year. It's pure winner-take-all effect. So what do? This should not be discouraging. Kafka, Nassim Taleb, or Melville followed the specific strategy to counter this, and it's the same one I'm applying in my life as well. You probably know by now that Nassim Taleb is probably one of my favorite modern authors and thinkers. His bestsellers sold millions of copies, but most of the money he made was not from his book sales. He worked as a trader for a long time, and wrote one of his first bestsellers, Fooled by Randomness, in his free time after work. He was financially free already, and you can feel that his books are work of a craftsman, uncompromising, authentic, and extremely enjoyable. And in The Black Swan, he presented the idea of the barbell strategy, a great way to operate in Extremistan while keeping the stability of Mediocristan. It's applicable to different areas of life, from investment to career management. But let's see how it applies to managing our creative projects. Personally, I've been using it for the past 4 years. You see, I have a solid career as a main profession and a main source of income. I've been working in sales in the tech industry for the past 5 to 6 years. I built a solid skill set there. I've been promoted to manage a team and moved to New York City for a better opportunity. And it's my stable Mediocristan career. But I've always had the urge to write, to pursue my intellectual curiosity, and share my work online. I've been writing and creating in French for the first 2 years. Now I didn't enjoy it in French anymore, and I wanted to reach a wider audience, talking about specific topics in English, and that's what I do with this channel. But to manage both careers, I need to be very careful with how I manage my time. I have a structure that allows me to be creative and manage both. So I'm an early riser, so in the first 2 hours of the day, I study, read, and research. Then from 9 to 6, I go to work. And in the evenings, I film, edit, or write. On the weekends, I can work longer hours, study more, and that's how my days look, pretty much. In his work In Praise of Idleness, Bertrand Russell outlines how writers, creatives, or intellectuals preferably need a sinecure, or a low-demanding profession as a main source of income to be able to retain their intellectual freedom. And I couldn't agree more. Ensure you have that stable income by operating in Mediocristan while putting your work out there and operating in Extremistan and increasing your exposure to luck or a rare event. Because yes, today we have an advantage. There are no gatekeepers. You can just publish your work, your book, your podcast, your blog. Nobody has the monopoly anymore on production or distribution. On the flip side though, the concentration effects are huge. With globalization, you're competing with every other creator, writer, or artist in the world. And the power laws naturally concentrate the success within a few winners, making it really hard for small players to penetrate the network and gain in popularity. In his other book, Authority and the Individual, Russell explains how in the past, city-states used to compete with each other in art or intellectual work. Florence will be promoting its artists to compete with the Venetian ones. Every city-state had its local scene with its own touch and uniqueness. Even in our modern era, if you go back to the 90s, the hip-hop scene was very localized. You had the gritty boom-bap sound here in the East Coast competing with the West Coast hip-hop. You had a lot more players competing and a wider repertoire of artists. But today, everybody across the globe is ending up having the same taste in music. Winner-take-all effects are extreme. Drake is not only dominating the streams in the US, but across the globe, making it extremely tough for new artists to break through. At least the barbell strategy will allow you to manage that risk and allow you to produce what you really and authentically want to share, because you're not stressed about making a quick buck, which in a counterintuitive way makes your work more attractive and idiosyncratic. So let's see how we can manage those creative projects in the most sustainable way. If you have a creative or artistic inclination, you probably feel burdened or even crushed by a regular career. There will be an existential dread of not being able to fully unleash your creativity in something bigger than you or your job. You might always have this urge to walk away, quit your job, and go all in on your creative projects. It's understandable. But what if I told you that keeping your job will allow you to be extremely more creative for 2 reasons. The first one, let's bring up Franz Kafka again. His day job working in insurance deeply influenced his work when writing The Trial and his portrayal of impersonal bureaucracies. Having contact with reality, meeting different characters in the world, whether it's colleagues or strangers, will make your work more interesting. It will also make it more relatable to an audience that faces the same challenges as you. Being completely disconnected from the work world can make you less relatable. The second reason is your whole approach to your creative work will change when having a stable job. Taking care of your finances by having a stable, reliable income will allow you to approach your creative work as play. I didn't read the whole book yet, I just skimmed through it, but Johan Huizinga in Homo Ludens explains how The element of play is basically older than culture. It is embedded in life's major institutions, from poetry and art through creative expression, to philosophy through debates and intellectual contests, or even religion through rituals and sacred performances. We accomplished a lot as a society through the element of play. And even though this element of play is in decline today, you can revive it. Having a safety net will help you approach your work more lightly and unleash your creativity. Financial stress stifles creativity and turns your creative endeavors into dreadful hit-or-miss projects where money is top of mind. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.